drummers, musicians, music aficionados, and anyone out there that just loves drum reaction videos. Tim Connolly here, drummer, drum teacher. I am doing a very special drum reaction video today to one of my favorite drummers. And he drums for one of the greatest artists of all time, Micheal Jackson. So it's none other than Johnathon Sugarfoot Moffett. Now, some people who are unfamiliar with Johnathon Moffett may wonder, where did that Sugarfoot come from? Well, obviously it's a nickname, and you will see from watching this video exactly where he gets that name from, because his bass drum technique and how tight his groove is unbelievable. One of the tightest drummers around, and that's why he worked with Madonna, David Bowie, Micheal Jackson, etc., etc., many very famous artists. He's a first call kind of guy. So anyways, here he is, not playing live because I'm trying to avoid copyright strikes. He's playing on Drumeo, and he's doing Wanna Be Startin' something. So let's check this out. So for those that don't know Johnathon or not familiar with him, he's a very soft-spoken, gentle, loving person, and he's very spiritual. So this is part of his spiritual thing. He's getting ready to lay down some serious funk here. It's going to be happening any second now. Get ready, people. He is in the zone and ready to go. Here we go. Well, right away he kicks into a killer 16th note groove. So he's hitting the snare, and he's doing an open hi-hat with the left hand at the same time. That's very technically difficult to do. So laying down that 16th note pulse on the top, snares 2 and 4, some cymbal crashes here and there on the downbeats of usually at the end of a 4 or 8 bar phrase. The bass drum is what's driving this tune though, with the bass, right? So the bass drum's playing. So we got some heavily syncopated 16th notes driving this groove, along with those hats. Now the hats are playing steady 16th. Bass drum's playing a slightly broken 16th note feel. Very difficult to play at that tempo to get that busy bass drum. Johnathon is super tight. He's called Sugarfoot for a reason. You just found out why. Nobody can play the bass drum like him. So tight to the groove. Everything about that groove is just fantastic. He is in the zone here. Now, what's interesting is shout out to Junk Drummer, who also is a fantastic drum teacher reactor guy on YouTube that I follow. And he inspired me to do these videos. This is number 5 in my series. Or sorry, number 4 in my series. And Drunk Drummer reviewed Johnathon Moffett playing a different tune. But this guy is a legend. He's been around the scene for a long time. He did have some health problems recently. He had a heart attack. He had triple bypass surgery. From talking to Don Familero, I was told that he's doing much better. He's recovered. And he's getting back to playing these kind of grooves, because the world wouldn't be the same without Johnathon Sugarfoot Moffett. What a killer player. He's an inspiration to all of us drummers to get our feet together. I love that stop. He's tight. He is tight, this guy. Little breakdown, fans screaming, even though it's not really live. I'm gonna stop this just for 1 second. Oh, actually, let's listen to this for 1 second and then I'll stop it. As he came back in. Okay, I'm gonna stop for 1 second. Now, what's interesting about Johnathon also is he's one of those guys, he's not a chops monster. He's not Thomas Lang. He is not Vinnie Colaiuta. He's his own thing. He really lays down a funky beat. He's all about the groove, and that's why these artists hire him. Because I'm going to be totally honest with you, drummers, I know this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Guitar players, keyboardists, singers, they don't care about your Vinnie Colaiuta chops, your Thomas Lang chops, your double bass Slayer grooves. They don't care about that. What they care about is that you lay down a steady tempo and that you lay down a groove that they can play with and around and to. That's the most important thing. Not how fast you can play your singles or how fast you can play your double stroke with your like blast beats and stuff with double pedal. It just doesn't matter. So you have to focus on groove. The guys that are working the most are the guys that are playing grooves like this. So if you can groove like this, you are going to definitely get work. And you're going to be working steady. Don't get me wrong, I love the chops guys. I really do. But I also love guys that can really lay down and groove. Adam Deitch, another guy I'm going to review down the road. Zorro the drummer, who I studied with. Great groove player. Michael didn't hire him because he could play fancy licks. Michael hired him because he can lay it down. And his bass drum, like I said, nobody plays the bass drum like Johnathon. Killer. Imagine playing that beat for as long as he's played. This is like a 7-minute video. Now it breaks down a little bit here. Mama say mama, I can't say it. Mama say mama sa makasa. That's from a 70s tune that Michael borrowed from. Samples. Well, actually, it's not a sample. He just took the. That's actually Michael singing it. It's actually not a sample, but he took that from a song. The breakdown goes on for a while, and then he repeats the intro with that gat gat gat. He changed the groove a tiny little bit here too. The bass drum patterns shifted a little bit. Now he's back to the original pattern. So just in the breakdown there for about 4 bars, he shifted the pattern a little bit. Now it's a groove solo. Killer. Nice James Brown influence. Clyde Stubblefield kind of a groove now. Lots of ghost notes. Open hi-hat. I actually wasn't prepared for a solo. I thought this was just a tune. But one thing Johnathon talked about in another Drumeo video was building from the bottom up. So he would develop grooves from the bass drum up as opposed to most drummers that develop from the hi-hat and snare down. So you can check out his video on Drumeo where he actually talks about that, where developing from the bottom up, which is an interesting approach. I love those little 4-stroke rolls there. Now, there's something that Johnathon's really good at is clutching the cymbal, doing a grab like and catching it really quickly. He's really, really good at that. There's a Soul Tone video. Soul Tone is a cymbal company. And he does that. Oh, There he is doing it right at the end. Awesome. I'm glad he did that because I was talking about it and he did it at the end. But the Soul Tone video is a whole video of him doing stuff like that. There is no instructional video, it's just him doing it, but it's a lot of fun. Anyways, that is Johnathon Sugarfoot Moffett. You're not going to find anyone much better than that for what he does, laying down the groove. So please take my advice, groove first. Chops are fun, they're great, drummers love them. Guitar players, singers, bass players, everybody else, they want to hear groove. Tim Connolly, I'll be back at you with another video down the road. Take care.